Welcome back to 12 Rounds of Adrenaline with me, Tony T, the place to be. I'm just saying. Hey, we got to do back. Welcome back to 12 Rounds of Adrenaline. We're goofing off with my friends here from the neighborhood, and so I got to get back to business now. We want to give a shout out to Eddie Garnica, attorney Eddie Garnica. He's at 501 Franklin Boulevard. So if you have a criminal problem or an immigration problem, and right now there should be a lot of tests for the immigration, you would think. And so if you want to hit up Eddie Garnica, that's what he specializes in California, rather in Northern Cal or Southern Cal. He specializes in that stuff. That's what he does. His number is going to be 916-617-0507. Let me say that one more time. 617-0507. Then we have Tony Tiger Plumbing, which is me, Tony T, the place to be, baby. You see, and my number is if you have a plumbing problem, if you're around Sacramento, in Sacramento, around, I'll go to depends on what the job is, but I'll go as far as I'll go to Woodland, Davis, Auburn, Eldorado Hills. It depends on the problem. If the problem's pretty big, I'll definitely do it because gas is going up, so and so we got to be careful how far we go. And my number is going to be 916-589-0455. Get that. Let me handle that plumbing problem that you have. And now we're down to business. So we're here with a few friends. Now watch. These guys are probably going to remind me of some stuff I don't even remember because I think my long-term memory is better than my short-term. Not better than my short-term. But we got some guys from the neighborhood. And,
what neighborhood?
South Sac, baby. Yeah, South Sacramento. And it was called the Gardens back then. I don't know what they call it now. Names, things, people change, things change. So Troy Rodriguez, and we have Alex. What's your last name? Hampton. You from South Sac? You from the Hampton side? He goes, Hampton, cool. So yeah, these are some. So Troy, what are you doing now?
I work for a food processing company. We specialize in pasteurization and homogenization to give the product shelf life. It's a pharmaceutical food company. And I've been doing this for about 3.5 years now. But I was a welder fabricator for 30 years. I did that. So I kind of just transitioned from making it to servicing it.
So what you're saying is, if you got something from the store and it was old and they said it had the date hasn't expired yet, he's the man to call. Call him, complain him, because he probably can put the backdated that shit.
His number is
And over here we have Alex. Alex, what are you doing now?
Okay, I'm a local 46 carpenter. I do commercial hospitals, bridges, apartment buildings, you name it. I've built from the ground up. So that's what I've been doing for 15 years.
Okay. So is that really? So what'd you build?
I built 99 over there by the new casino.
Oh yeah.
I did that. I did Folsom Dam.
Wow.
I installed the Kings arena seats for the Kings new locker rooms. I installed those.
Nice.
Did a lot of projects. DMV.
Wow.
Downtown on Broadway.
Do you get any props at DMV? Do you cut a line or nothing?
No,
They didn't give you nothing.
I didn't give you nothing for that. But yeah, just a lot of projects around Sacramento and the Bay Area. But right now I'm working in Santa Rosa right now.
What are you guys doing there?
We're building an apartment building.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you ever had something fall and break on you, that's pretty good.
his number is
And Nick. Okay, Nick, besides being the cameraman and man behind the scenes that does it all, what are you doing today?
So I really don't want to say where I work at exactly, but I'm a public servant for the state of California. I've been here for 29 years.
29 years? Wow.
Yeah.
So
I work in IT.
Is that like an internal intelligence?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah.
Information
And
technology.
you came from South Sac?
We all do.
Man, that's kind of
It's
crazy.
a testimony that we're
you know,
here.
Yeah, you know what, man? This is some trippy stuff because I mean we're not all doing too bad.
No.
We're doing all right.
And we're alive.
Yeah, we're still here.
Yeah,
Talk about what we did do.
The odds were against us.
Well, in that neighborhood, yes, definitely. I mean,
And
we walked out of that neighborhood fighting. I remember
Yeah.
walking down 29th Street.
Right.
It was-
29th Street?
It was a blacks and Mexicans. You know, it was straight up. You had to fight to get to school. So me and him used to go around, and we used to walk on the railroad tracks to get to Burbank. Remember?
And we were younger. Me and Alex, we grew up together. Well, we all grew up together, but like we watched these guys and learned what not to do. No, you know, me and Alex, we come from the same age group. Me and Alex been knowing each other like you guys, you know, and yeah. So
well, you know what?
guys taught us
45, 50, almost 50 years with him.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of a trip though. We all sit down, we all come back, and we all come from different parts of life. I mean, the same area, but our lives went
right.
After that, we kind of grew up, and everybody went their different ways. What happened to you after the gardens? What'd you do?
Well, after when I was younger, I had an accident. You know, it's a brain aneurysm when I went to Luther Burbank.
Wow.
And so after that, I had a couple of problems. You know, I started getting in and out of juvenile hall. I never went to YA or anything like that, and then I caught a case in 1994 on 24th of Meadowview, drugs and guns. I did 14 and a half years of prison, 12 in the feds and 2.5 in the States. And then after that, when I was in the States, I took a PIA program through the local 46 Carpenters and never looked back after that.
Nice.
And that's how I got on my feet. Right there.
Is that right? You know what? You know what's so crazy is a lot of people. There's a lot of friends and or acquaintances that I know and or people that I know from the South Side that went to prison. A lot of them.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of them get out and don't do too bad. You know, they're doing all right.
Exactly.
You know, and it's kind of amazing because some of the stories and some of the stuff that you hear about, you know, about their life and their life after the life that you had with everybody. You know what I mean? And it's kind of a trip to me, man. You know, I've never been to prison. I don't think I'd ever make it to prison. I really wouldn't. You know, because I don't shut up. My mouth just keeps running. I know, really. I don't think I'd make it.
Yeah, you would challenge everybody and everything.
Yeah, I mean, someone stepped up to me. I'm like, okay, not shot. You know, I would do something. You know, I ain't gonna let nobody just.
Right.
But I mean, I understand it's a different world in there. I just wouldn't make it. I'd be out. They'd have me in a coffin the first.
Well,
week.
look what happened when you found him in prison. They shut the whole place down because he was talking to someone you weren't supposed to.
Yeah. And I didn't know that either.
You know, so
I didn't know that either until wow. Yeah, it was a trip. And anyways, and so now, are you married?
No, single.
Kids?
Got one kid. She's a daughter. She's 28 years old.
28 years old. I know, huh? That trip. So is mine. Wow. Yeah, man. It's a trip, man.
She lives over by me.
Yeah, she's over there in Florida, Detroit.
So Alex, not to cut you off, but so during that time, I remember what happened and stuff. But that's when they just changed the law, right?
Yeah,
that's why you got so much time. Right?
Yeah, it was called the crack law, the 101 ratio. Like say, for instance, you get caught with 5 grams of crack cocaine was equivalent to 100 grams of powder.
Wow.
So
1,050.
Yeah, so it was like, you know, I didn't get caught with an ounce of cocaine, but I got that much time because of the mandatory sentencing. You know,
wow.
Unloaded guns, I'm non-violent, you know, but I got 162 months for that.
Wow.
But they changed the law.
Right.
So
okay, let me ask you something. Okay, watch this. Okay, devil's advocate, okay? Okay. I mean, it's kind of jacked up, and trust me, it is jacked up. But watch. Do you think that helped you get better? Well, how am I trying to say this? I know what I want to say.
He's saying by having that stricter punishment, did it help you
no
to
doubt.
get where you're going now?
No doubt about it. I think I needed that because what happened was when I was incarcerated, it gave me a time to think about all the people that I hurt. You don't just hurt yourself when you go to prison. You're hurting your family members.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I lost my 2 grandparents, a dad. You know, you're losing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Loved
Yes.
ones. Yep. And you'll never get that back.
Right.
And so it's your responsibility to look yourself in the mirror and be like, hey man, you know,
Be real.
do you want to continue this? You know what I'm saying? Do you see what's happening?
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't think that. They're you know, you got a lot of stuff that's going on in prison, and you can come out and be the same person. But for us, some of us that do, we educate ourselves, we get ourselves together, and we fight the demons within. So when we get out, we're prepared to be successful
That's right.
pretty well.
Well, good for you.
Yeah.
It is, but and you're doing good now, right?
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes, I'm doing excellent.
Now, you stay in touch with your daughters, your
Yeah.
family and stuff?
Oh, check this out. I lost contact with my daughter because of prison. And I used Facebook years ago, about maybe 7, 8 years ago. As soon as I got out, I started searching for my daughter, and I found her. You know, and my mother, you know, she was in the neighborhood, 25th Street. You know, I kept in contact with her, and, you know, and she's doing well right now, but she had a stroke and everything like that. But yes, I kept in contact with family, and I mean that's how it's going right now. Everything's fine.
Oh, good. Yeah, you know, everybody takes different roads, man. You know, and I've always thought we'll watch. I mean, you know, I'll watch for myself. When I was younger, I always did stupid stuff.
Yep.
And you know what?
I'll attest to that.
I always thought to seriously, I thought, okay, look, we're all human. We try to get away with it, right? We all try to get away with it.
Right.
And you know, but if I'm caught red-handed or if I got caught, you know, okay, I got caught.
Right.
I suffered the consequences of what I did, you know,
Exactly.
because I knew what I was doing and what it could cost me when I was doing it. But I'm younger then. You know, today, think about if I would have got caught back then, like yourself. Man, that's a life changer.
Yes,
you know,
absolutely.
I mean, look at all this. I would look at it like, man, what am I going to miss? What, you know, kids growing up.
Life.
Life happens. Life continues no matter what.
Exactly.
And you know, so maybe, okay, we're all young, and nobody really thinks about that back then. But today, you know, I think about it, and I'm going, man, I'm glad I should. You look like that guy. Donnie's over here making faces. He looks like that guy with like Gummy's friend.
Oh, he clicked them in.
So, and back to my story, but you know, it's just, I don't know, it's just crazy for me. Well, I mean, because at a certain part of time of your life, how many years?
I did 14 and a half years.
Okay, 14 and a half years, gone.
Right.
You know, I mean, you should do, and I'm just saying, you know, you'd be really good at giving talks. Giving talks to kids.
Yes, he does that.
Oh, is that what you
Guess
do?
what? That's what I did through the local 46 carpenter series. I went to probably 20 high schools around here, and elementary schools, junior high schools, speaking to at-risk kids, foster kids.
Nice.
I've done that since I got out. You know, I haven't been doing it recently because I'm working full time and everything.
Right.
But yes, I've definitely reached out to the community out here in Sacramento and tried to give back. Even went to Kennedy High School and sat right across the street here, you know, and got to sit 6 periods of class with a kid. You know, a teacher called me in and said he had some knuckleheads in there. And so I came in there and sat in there and talked to the kids in there, and that was great. You know, going back.
Awesome.
I went to Kennedy for a short period of time.
Right.
You know, but that was great. You know, to be able to give back to those kids.
Yeah, you know, and you know, you should. There's a lot of kids that could listen to a story. You know, and it's a story. It's a real story because you've been there, done that.
Yeah.
Man, look, you know, it's kind of like one of those. Look, I've done the time for you, so you ain't got to do it. So, you know, if you want to do it, stupid, that's on you. You know,
Right.
But I'm telling you why you should do it. You know, and I think that'd be really good. Some of these kids nowadays just need to be popped in the backside of their head and say, "Hey, wake up!" You know, and that's what you would be like. That you'd be that wake up call. You know, and I don't know, even some of the kids want to stay in touch with you. You know?
But even for you and me, when we were growing up, I mean, we pushed the limits.
Yeah.
No doubt. You know, I was hanging out with the crowd, you know, with HB and them guys, which were great guys. They're doing good, but you know, my other friends like Henry and all them other guys I was hanging out, they were no good. I mean, not that they were no good. We were just on a different path.
Right.
And I was hanging with them, and I was getting myself in more deep. But I always did just enough not to get too deep, but still be in the clique.
Right.
You know, because then it started getting a little crazy. So, you know, that's why I pulled out of there, because it was getting dangerous.
Right.
You know, when I had people showing up to my mom's house looking for me, you know, because of other shit, it just got where I said, you know, it either it's gonna take me or I'm not gonna let it take me. And I decided to get out because that's when I moved over to the Bay Area, you know, and then I got married and had a couple kids and so on. But yeah, I did just enough to push that envelope, but not, you know, stick in.
I come from a different line. I mean, it's not the same line, but the reason why I did get in a little big trouble, you know, and you want to tell you something crazy. You know, I tell people this all the time that, you know, because you become this Tony the Tiger Lopez, this boxing thing, right? And all this stuff happens. But, and watch that. Prior to that, man, I was nothing like everybody else. You know, I mean, I did stupid stuff.
I was there with you. I was there with you doing it with you, bro.
It's so as you grow up,
Right.
you know, I don't, and I tell what, and this is gonna make some people go. Some people that know me,
Right.
Well, yeah, he told me that, or yeah, he, you know that. Watch, man, because I became Tony the Tiger Lopez, the boxer, right? Two different people, kind of like. People look at you different.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, they treat you different. You get to go to the places that no one else gets to go. You get to do other things that nobody else gets to do.
You're right.
And it's a trip, dude, because there's been some parts of times in my life where I've done stuff and I'm going, now I know I'm not supposed to be here and hearing all this stuff, but what, so why am I? You know, there's been like about 3 or 4, maybe 5 times in my life, in my entire life, that I'm going, why me? You know, why did I hear that? I'm not supposed to see that. I'm not supposed to be here.
Right.
Why am I here? There's a reason for it. I mean, you know,
Well,
I still haven't figured it out. But
well, if you look at it and you say, if I wasn't Tony the Tiger Lopez the champ, would I be here?
No.
Exactly.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. You know, so there's a few things like one time, I was young before we moved to Medellin.
Right.
So I was about 8, 9 years old, and I've been driving since I was 10. I way before that, but I was probably 10. But I was like 8, 9 years old. My dad had an old panel truck, and then I think he had it when we moved to the blue. Yeah. So I was in that truck, and then I was going down 14th Avenue. There's a train crossing, and I'm a kid, so you know, and I try to. I see it starts ding, 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 and I'm like, I can make it. And so I dropped it in gear, put it in a Hearst 4-speed before, remember that. And I tried to make it. I got scared. Cause I'm a kid. I'm 8, 9 years old. I went, you know, I don't know if I really went but I made it stop, and I'm stopped on the tracks, and that train's coming, and I seen it, and all I remember is putting I put it in first gear. I remember stepping on the gas, hearing the side pipes, and then making all that rubbing noise.
You know, just in IT. I started out as a custodian, and then I was promoted from there. You know, I was a custodian for 4 years, and then
Nice.
yeah, you know, I took some classes and stuff, and got
Yeah, that's what I did. Once I got to the Bay Area, you know, and I
Your
got myself
Wi-Fi.
away from negative contacts. you
Yeah.
know. I still had my head was still
Yeah,
you know earning for some of that attention, but I let all that go, and then I took a welding course at
Yeah.
Chabot College, and it was a 2-year course, and then I ended up or 1.5 years, something like that, and then I ended up getting a job welding, and I never looked back. It's been a great trade for me.
See?
You know,
I really think the best thing that happened to me in my life when I was younger is when my dad kicked me out of the house.
You know, I was okay. So when my ex-wife, we found out she was pregnant with little Nick, right? And I was scared to tell my mom. Like I was terrified because I wasn't working at the time.
right.
And Rachel was already showing, and I was like, man, I gotta tell her. So I'll never forget. I said, Mom, when you come home from work, I gotta tell you something. And she knew, you know.
Yeah, moms know, bro.
Yeah, and then so like Tony said, she gave me 30 days, man. She was like, I'm gonna give you 30 days and you gotta move. And that was the best thing that she could ever do.
30 days, I had a few hours.
Well, you know, that was a little different.
no.
But what I did want to say is that growing up where we did, you guys, we looked up to you guys, like for reals. I remember that you, after school, you would tell me you was always fucking sanding or doing body work or interior.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. And you used to make me help you.
Yeah.
You know, sand cars, do whatever. You taught me how to paint. You helped me build that lowrider bike. You bonded it for me. So that
We were always doing stuff.
Yeah.
bro. Me and you.
yeah, and Troy, I remember he painted that rose on the front of my beach cruiser. So it was always like we had some place to go, you know,
Yeah.
learn something.
Yeah.
Right.
And I give you guys credit for that. You know,
Thank you, brother.
whatever you guys did was whatever you guys did. But and then I watched, I'm like, no, I ain't doing that. But you know, it was like,
See,
you know, we did have a positive place because you guys were older than us, and we did have you know. And then we would always put the gloves on too.
Oh, yeah.
You guys would make us fight.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, this
so
one? He used to, well, see, when I was younger, I actually used to get my ass kicked all the time.
By me.
And then I started hanging out with this guy, and he made me fight.
wait, Troy, I thought just
Because Barry Woods used to kick my butt.
But no, I remember the time you and Timmy was fighting, and he came out the house and he threw that shake or egg on him. Yeah, that shit was crazy.
Well, this is when the Rocky movies came out, right? And
shit was
so
the
he's
most
switching around in,
funniest
right?
shit.
And Timmy, my brother's giving me crap or whatever, and he comes chasing me out of the house. So I take the egg and I throw it.
He was drenched.
That shit was the funniest shit.
I was like, these
No. I got a funnier one. Remember the time you broke a battle with Lee Montoya said, or what's
Oh,
it?
no.
No. It was a fence, a piece of fence wood.
Oh,
Him
I
and-
remember that.
him
I
and-
remember
Him and Lee got in a fight with that.
I remember.
Yeah, he did the same wood.
With the
You were
Cadillac.
just a
Yeah.
baby. Yeah, you were
Yeah,
just
yeah.
a baby dog.
And him and Lee got in a
I
fight.
remember
And
that.
I think what was happening was, I don't know if he was beating you up and started beating you up, but you got mad.
Yeah.
And you got,
That fence.
I think you were crying, I wasn't sure, but I remember you found the stick like
I thought I wanted to rip
piece
it
of-
off. I wanted to rip it
ripped
off
off
the
the
fence.
a piece of a wood fence.
Yeah,
the whole thing.
it started off about this long.
Yeah, a real long piece of fence. He went, pow.
Lee used to live where Denise and Denise lived.
Yeah.
oh, see, I don't remember.
Well, he moved away, but
Watch this. He hit him so many times.
I
that
remember
by
I
the time he
seen
done
it.
with that fence, it was like
It was
this big.
yeah. That shit was funny
6
as
foot
hell.
long. It ended up being about 6 inches long.
that
That was funny.
there.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Man, I used to do all kinds of great
And then
stuff.
the white wall. You remember the white wall by Henry Perez's house?
Oh yeah.
You guys had some shit going on over
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
before.
What's the white wall? I never heard of this.
You know,
The end of TK.
They had a TK. Remember that wall they had up before
Oh,
you
yeah,
go to
yeah,
job
yeah.
for?
Yeah. What was that
Job
for?
for.
that was their little spot.
Yeah.
What'd you do in that little spot?
All kinds of
Snip
stuff.
paint. Snip paint.
Snip paint?
Back in the day, yeah.
You did?
I did everything, bro.
That's why. I just know it's crazy, man. That's why you've been sitting that paint on.
1401, but we're gonna pay you.
And then like me too, like seeing Alex, his mom, man, that's the strongest lady, bro, I ever met. His mom didn't. She raised us all, to be honest with you.
Right.
Like she didn't. See, back when we grew up, the neighborhood parents, they were allowed to whoop your ass.
Oh yeah.
It was different. Like now you hit a kid.
Oh yeah. Now you're going to jail.
Yeah, like if
Even if you're the parent.
you know, I mean, Miss Hampton had, she
But
disciplined
like I
us.
was saying, growing up, I had the fight because of him, and then he'd get me in fights. Tony was instigator.
I still am.
Still is.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, and then I ended up learning how to fight. And once I learned how to fight, I had everybody from YA trying to beat me up, and I was knocking all them guys out.
Well,
for a while.
speaking of that,
Yeah.
What?
in front of my mom's garage.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Tony don't remember.
I don't want to be the one bringing this up.
I'll bring it
Okay,
up.
wait.
But
I think you guys all BSing.
and
No,
me and
no.
Alex were the youngest.
Okay, wait. They said that me and Troy got in a fight and that it was a draw. I've never had a fight that was a draw.
Yeah, you have.
Honestly, Troy kind of got.
The best of the
No,
best.
I don't know, man.
He won't admit it, but I still
I
love
don't
him.
remember.
So I've been bringing
I'm
it
down-
up
I'm
to
down,
Troy.
though.
I've been bringing it up to Troy for the last year behind. So when you went down there with Albert Ochoa, remember with
Who?
Albert?
You went to Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Albert.
The kid.
That guy.
Okay, when
That
you
guy.
went down there with him, Troy had just left me here.
Right.
He came down to see me. So when he came here, I asked him, do you remember when you and Tony got, because I swear, when I was somewhere else on vacation, I dreamed about this and I thought it was fictional, but it happened. And I asked Troy, I'm like, hey, do you remember when you and Tony got in a fight in front of my mom's house? He said, yeah. And I said, when he goes down there to Florida, ask him, does he remember? And he refused to.
Right.
I think you.
So
you
I
dreamt
called
about
you.
this?
Wait,
No,
I,
you
no,
dreamt
wait,
about this
listen,
shit.
listen.
You just said- No, that's all bullshit.
I called
I
you.
believe in that.
I called you.
I would remember.
I called you when you was in Florida and I asked you the same question. You said, me and Troy never got in a fight. I said, ask him. And you was like, I will, but you never did.
Yeah, you never
because I
asked.
called
Yeah,
him.
But me and Tony used to play a lot too.
No, but this wasn't playing.
Right.
You guys got
I
into
don't
it.
remember.
And I'm going to tell you what it was over.
We
It
were
was
like
over.
friends.
We was playing 21 and he elbowed you. That's what it was over.
And then
You guys got,
I don't remember that either.
you
And
guys
you
got,
guys
I know.
went toe to
I mean,
toe up against
you had him
the
up
garage.
against the garage for a long time and you was blending him, but he came back. My mom was in the garage yelling, Donnie, tell him to stop. She remembers it too.
I don't remember. I really don't.
Yeah, you guys fought.
Well,
for
that's
about
I like
probably-
a long term.
Wait,
You don't remember.
He seemed it. No, I remember almost everything. But like,
You didn't lose. You didn't
It
lose.
doesn't matter. Watch it. You ain't Martin Luther King. You had a dream one day. Oh,
No. No. Wait, no,
no,
listen.
I remember it.
Sometimes, like things that really happened in my life, I dream about, but their faces are different. But I knew it was you guys
How do you know it was those guys?
because I asked him. I
I
asked Vicky. I asked
was
Albert.
there.
He was there.
I was there.
I
remember.
I was
it.
young.
Simbo.
Now you remember.
Hey, Simbo was there.
Wait, did I get beat up or did I win? Oh no, I remember.
I'm not saying you got beat up.
No, you got. It was a good ass fight, and it lasted like maybe in reality probably a minute and a half. But you guys didn't stop punching the whole time.
But the good thing afterwards is you guys continued.
Yeah, Troy ran
It was
home.
over.
Troy
that's what
ran.
we did.
Troy ran
That's
home.
how it worked.
Troy ran home and got Jeff, and you was already gone.
No, I don't
just
remember. I
fucking-
don't remember. But
No,
watch
you
this.
didn't.
Watch this. And then, but I bet you. See, this is the difference between then and now. See, today they come back and shoot you. Back
Right,
then,
yeah, you're right.
back
You're
then,
right.
back then we shook hands and said, "Okay, come on,
Yeah,
soda."
we all.
Yeah, we were all-
Let's go get a soda.
But me and him, we were always great friends.
Yeah.
Me and Tony,
Yeah.
I love this guy.
I remember fighting with you.
Yeah,
I
it was
just don't.
It was just over squad.
I think every fight I ever seen you in on the street, I brought up and you don't remember none of them. Like 3 I
I
brought
mean,
up.
just being in the
Well,
neighborhood, we fought each
But
other.
you used to fight all the time
It
after
was
school. I
nothing
remember.
personal back
That I did. I was always fighting.
You
But
was
I don't
always
remember. Man,
I remember me and him walking to school, and we happened to find some screwdrivers, and we kind of drank them. So we used to walk to school, and me and him would be hitting on, vodka and orange juice. He got into school, and the first thing he gets with Diaz. Remember Diaz, Sammy Diaz? You fought him and John Still. You lit him up.
I don't remember that either.
Yeah, see? Yeah. See, you don't remember that.
I really don't remember that.
Yeah.
So do you remember the Angel Flights and the New Balances?
Angel Flights pants?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wore Angel Flights.
Oh, I got a
Oh,
picture.
damn.
I got a picture. I got a picture right here. Hey, that should be the thumbnail.
That's the time I had that purple short, the big old thing.
Yeah.
All I know is you used to
my three.
We used to always be seeing
Yeah,
dude.
you got-
I even had to draw dark hairs on my chest. I had chest hairs. I didn't do that, but that. Hey man, I do remember those days. I love the days, man. They were some good
Remember the Y&I we used to hang out at?
Yeah,
all the time?
no, that's Murder Act. Remember that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It was called what?
Murder.
Wine Eye, but we
Yeah.
called it Murder Act.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah, that was the place to be, though. Remember?
Yeah, that was cool, man.
Yeah, we did a lot of clubs together. A lot of
And
cruises
that, well,
together.
then we were just kids back then.
Yeah.
And we were
We were
going
getting
to
it in.
21. They didn't care back then. You know?
Right.
Like,
Right.
Yeah, they didn't
As
really.
long as they didn't get
No,
caught,
it
you didn't
was-
act stupid. You're pretty cool.
Right.
You know?
Exactly. Exactly.
You know?
So Troy, who was it? You or Timmy or both of you guys? Now I remember the yellow mini bikes you guys had,
Yeah.
and then who worked at Jeremiah's Steakhouse?
That was
Timmy.
Jeff did. Jeff worked at Jeremiah's Steakhouse.
So the
Mm.
Timmy.
I used to
we
drop-
all worked there.
I used to
Yeah.
drop Timmy off on my moped.
Yeah.
Right, but we all worked there. Jeff worked there as a cook, and then Timmy as a dishwasher, and then I worked there for about a week, and I was like, yeah, this ain't for me.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you guys had jobs.
He was
back
first.
then?
Yeah, workers overrated. I don't know.
Exactly. No, we always
I
worked.
don't-
But I was always working.
Yeah.
With Dominic and them.
Yeah.
His dad had that trash hauling business.
Let's
I was
talk
always-
trash.
Yeah, I was always working. Me and Dominic.
Okay, I
always
gotta make a statement before this is my what do you call it when you have to say something to like a
Interrupt.
no
Clear the air.
yeah something like that before a show starts is
Oh.
Disclaimer?
Light.
disclaimer, that's all. This is my disclaimer.
Okay.
I'm sniffing because my nose is plugged, right? And I've had nose all my life.
Right.
And I thought it was from boxing back then, but it's mostly from allergies. I've had allergies my whole life. I'm in California. It happens. And the other day, I don't even know what happened, but the other day, 3 days ago, I couldn't breathe at all. I couldn't breathe out either nose. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't do anything. So I had to sleep. At night, I was trying to sleep at night. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm still wide awake, going, I can't go to sleep. I can't breathe.
Right.
I can only breathe through my mouth.
And then you felt like you went to sleep. You wouldn't. wake
Yeah,
up.
yeah. And
Exactly.
so finally, Kathy woke up and she goes, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "I can't breathe." And she goes, "You need to go to the doctor." I go, "I need to go to the emergency room." So we went to the emergency room. No, that's a lie. And I said, "No, I'll wait."
Right.
Because I was like 3 in the morning.
Right.
So we went back to sleep. No. She called the fire department. She was on the phone with the lady for 411. She told the lady what was going on. The lady says, "Here, call the local fire department." So the 911 lady called the fire department. The fire department came out, and then they did this. They ran some tests.
Yeah, they do.
Just go. How do you feel? Put something on my hand, my pulse, and they
Right,
said, "Well,
yeah,
you look strong. Your pulse is strong. Everything's there." He goes, "I don't think you really need to go to the emergency room." And I'm thinking, well, I can't breathe, fool.
Right.
I really can't. And he goes, well, just wait till the morning time. He goes, so okay, so wait till the morning time and go to the emergency care place. A little.
Yeah. Right.
So we did that. So I said, okay, yeah, we'll do that. So we waited till the morning time, and I went to this emergency care over by Sutter, and then walked in there. It opened up at 8. We were there at 8,
Right.
and then I was the third person there, and I was at the door. And then so we get in. And then doctor says, okay, take this, take this. I'm gonna recommend this, and this. And then I was taking this stuff because I couldn't breathe, so I had to clear my nose.
Right.
I'm not gonna say the name of it. It starts with an A. It with an N or M? I think it's not an N.
Yeah.
So it starts with an A, ends with an N. Don't use that stuff. You know, because they said
Steroid. It's
Yeah,
like
they see.
it's a low level steroid.
Yeah, they said you can get addicted to it. I don't get addicted to anything.
Right.
But it wasn't. The addiction is you can breathe. You know,
Right.
this my nose isn't from boxing. It's from allergies.
Allergies.
And
Right.
I've had
You
my
always,
whole life.
you
I've
have
had my whole life.
You've always slipped your whole life.
Yeah, you
I
know,
remember that.
So, but now that
But
they
now,
said-
now that you understand it, though.
well, yeah, and then the stuff that they give me, you know, to wean me off of aspirin, doesn't really. I mean, it works, but it doesn't
Right.
really work.
The word
So-
you're gonna say.
So I got a question.
Yeah. So
So about a month ago, I told you about Afrin. You were like, no, you can't get it. I said, Tony, I was addicted to that for 6 years. And you was like, you can't get it. So since I told you that, and now I was right?
for the first time in your life, I'm 60. I'm 60. First time in your life.
I just had to
You're
clear,
right.
I had to get that on record.
Okay, but it took you only how long? 50 years to be right. Okay, you're right. But you know what? So it's kind of, you got to kind of watch it. You know,
Yeah.
as a parent, if your kids are on or taking some of that stuff, you know, watch them. You know, if they're taking it too
Yeah.
much, they say what they say. I'm sorry, it was either a month, a week and a day, or
If you do it consistently for
Yeah.
that long, you're
yeah, they say
Right.
over a week and a half. If you do it for more than a week and a half,
Right.
you're addicted.
Yeah.
And it takes time to get
Oh
off.
shit, I got
It's so yeah.
soda then.
No. This is for that stuff.
Oh,
that starts
oh,
with the A.
oh, yeah.
And so yeah, it was crazy, dude. So there was time I for a couple of nights I couldn't sleep at all, and I wasn't afraid, but I'm going, man, if I go to, I wonder if I should wake up or and it's true, you'll wake up because eventually I fell asleep that night on accident, and I woke up in the morning time, so I was doing okay.
Oh, wow.
But you know, you're thinking, man,
In your mind.
in
yeah,
your head, you're
yeah.
going, okay, just in case I don't wake up, is this done? Is this done? I'm doing all my check notes. My kid knows about this. You know,
Right.
I'm doing all my check notes. You know, and it was crazy because I was doing all my check notes, but I fell
Man,
asleep
you're
anyway.
ready to leave us.
Yeah. But,
Wait. No,
Yeah.
we got a 5-year contract. We ain't
Hey, true,
going.
but you know you can breathe out of your mouth.
I know, but you know, so I don't know if I'm asleep.
Yeah, you don't know. Like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, it's
Man,
kind of
that's
crazy.
scary, bro.
No,
Sleep, get a machine,
you know-
a CPAP machine.
No, I got one, and you know
Do
what?
you use it?
Didn't do anything.
Do you use it though?
You got to use it for
Honestly.
2 days, and you will sleep like a
No,
baby.
wait, but do you use it consistently?
No, I only used it once. It didn't.
Why?
So,
You got to
it didn't
do
do
it.
anything.
What do you mean?
Listen.
Bro, that's the worst thing for your heart
What's
Yeah.
the
if you don't use it.
Yeah.
What?
If you,
Your CPAP,
look,
yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I got it right.
No.
I have one too. I have a CPAP.
So,
I use
and
it.
the way I found out was like around lunch at work,
Uh-huh.
I'd start yawning and I'd be real tired, right?
Right.
So when I started using it, it was night and day, bro.
Right.
Really?
It goes away. Yep.
But see, I don't
Energy,
get
I was
tired.
awake.
But I don't get tired.
You
That's
don't
but
think
but
you're tired.
But that you're strung that way though. You've
Yeah,
always been
you've
busy.
always been
Yeah.
like, but I'm telling you, bro. And if you don't
You'll feel
use
better
it,
if you
you're
use
gonna. I tell
Trust
my
me.
brother that shit
I
is
use
not
mine all
good.
the
I
for your
couldn't.
heart.
I couldn't use that thing. I
No,
went and got
you
the
can-
thing with the
You can
just
get
the.
the different.
They have to. I just see one on TV.
Use it, bro. Is all I'm saying, man.
I just started.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Never know.
Even if you gotta change the thing,
Yeah.
Right.
because it's important,
Yeah.
because it starts messing with your heart. If
No, it's important because we got 5 years left.
I'm more worried about
his
your
goals
health.
the same. Hey,
Up to 5 years.
Yeah, he's a no good brother.
He's a black sheep.
Yeah, no one liked him his whole life anyway.
That shit is bad for your heart if you.
Yeah,
don't.
you know
It's a strain.
Yeah,
You know?
I don't know why they can sell that stuff. Because you don't get addicted. Here's the thing: you don't get addicted to the product. You get addicted to breathing.
The way it
Absolutely.
feels.
Yeah,
right.
because you know I've always talked with a little like my nose is plugged. So
Right.
my nose has always been plugged. But when you can breathe,
Right. Absolutely.
you're
Yeah.
going. Oh,
Damn,
man,
this feels good, huh?
Yeah, for real. And
Right.
that's what you get addicted to. You get addicted to breathing. You know, because it feels good. I
So
guess.
did you, after you stopped taking it, did you notice anything, like side effects or anything? Or-
No.
Oh, then shit,
Yeah,
you're
no,
good
and now I take the stuff that the doctor gave
then.
me,
Yeah.
and he says only one squirt one time on this side, one squirt one time on this side, one time a day, and that's it.
Good.
And is it helping?
Yeah, it's not. I can breathe. I'm here.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
I mean, it's hard. It's not hard because I breathed like this my whole life.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, but to me, if
If it gets any worse, right, you can
Yeah.
tell the difference.
yeah. So that's what I meant. So.
And Sacramento's bad for allergies.
Oh, they said this year was the worst
Yeah,
year
yeah.
in record time, but I've never really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I never had a
so, you know, so one thing, we'll go back to where we're talking about,
Yeah.
is growing up, you know, and after I moved to the Bay Area, I moved to New Mexico, and then, but my trade was able to take me all over the country, you know, because I had a trade,
Yeah.
you know, it's something that somebody wanted from me, and, you know, being a welder fabricator, pretty soon I got into the lead positions, and I was a lead welder, so I'd have welders under me, and then I was department leads and stuff like that.
Nice.
And but I lived in New Mexico. I moved to Chicago, then Iowa to New York to Wisconsin, and now Florida. So
And Troy, this was all because of your job. You moved to.
yeah, well, I was trying to move to the job back to California when I left New Mexico, but then our mother company was closing down the plant here in California in the Bay Area. So they wanted me to go to Chicago. So they offered me this big pipe dream. And of course, you know, Tony says, oh, we'll give you this, you know, And then, you know, we just bought this company out in Iowa. We want you to be the lead there. Then once I got there, it was a union shop, and it was just like a whole different world, you know. And I was just like, oh my God. And so then they wanted me to climb the ladder, and I said, yeah, no, I'm out. You know, I'm not. The writing's on the wall. I played this game before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So then I just put my resume out there, got some hits, and then I ended up in New York, and that was a really good job there too. But you know, I did a lot of installs. I'd go to different places in the country and put these machines in that we built and stuff like that. So you know, the learning process and all that. I mean, I got a whole bunch of knowledge from it.
Yeah.
You know, I can pretty much build anything. You know,
Nice.
or when I say that, I truly mean that.
You know what? You brought something to mind. Now this ain't an educational thing, but it's starting to go that way. But anyways, you just said something when you first started. You said that you found a trade to do, and you know what? If you're not in the school, if you're young, even older, if you're not in the school, you never have been, and school wasn't your thing, you know, it's a different world today. If you're not into computers, you're screwed. If you don't know how to work a computer, you're screwed. If you don't know how to fix a computer, you're screwed. Because that's tomorrow's jobs.
Absolutely.
There's no more jobs of trades jobs. Those are going out the door. You know, especially.
Well, they're also getting shipped out of the country because
Yeah.
the Americans don't want to do it.
Nobody wants to do it. Nobody wants to get their hands dirty. Watch.
Well, everybody complains about Generation X, but Generation X built what's today.
But watch this. It may not be the right way to go, but watch this. Anyways, watch this. Here's what I'm saying. I'm saying, see, okay, they can get a machine to do welds. They're already doing it. They get machines to weld. They got machines to weld. But watch, your trade works, as in your hands. You plumbers. They can't make they can't make a robot that can plumb.
Oh, no.
You know that?
No.
So guess what? That job's here to stay.
Yeah.
So if you're out there, that's one of the jobs that I know that's here to stay.
Well, that's the same thing for me too, in a way, because they can get a welding machine to weld a fixed part, but they can't get that machine to build the machine. So that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Somebody has to build it.
Somebody has to build it, fabricate it, cut
That's
it.
right.
So
You're
that's the key.
Yeah.
You know.
But you know, in time, like I'm thinking, in time.
Well, yeah, you don't know where it's going.
What makes you think that they can't make a robot?
Well, exactly.
Because I think plumbing has a lot to do with common sense, and robots are designed.
You got to remember with plumbing, though, you know, you have to drive there, you have to assess the problem, you have to, you know, go in places that were built way years back that were coded totally different.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
You gotta
robot
make
doing that.
You got to make 1920 work with 2020.
Exactly.
For real. So
Yeah,
that's-
absolutely.
I'm glad you brought that up because that's the same thing with a carpenter. You know,
Uh-huh.
you
Oh yeah, without a
you're
doubt.
working with your hands. The carpenter has to lay it out.
Right.
You know, you have to build it. You know,
Right.
your computer can't do that.
Right,
You know
exactly.
what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Well,
Robot
I don't think the robot can go. Oh well, you know, if we cut this one down a little bit, we can make it fit. Because you have a roadmap to build it.
Yeah.
There's a roadmap, but
Right.
watch, all roadmaps are made to be changed. And rather than people want to admit it or not, while you're out there building, if it doesn't fit it perfectly, you have to make the judgment call to change it so that it does fit.
Exactly.
It's just like with plumbing.
No,
You know,
it's the same thing.
1920 doesn't work with 2020, but if you make this and this and this adjustment, you can make this or change that and do that to make
The
it
logic,
work. It works.
the logic of it, you know, the computer can't do. The logic, the
right.
common sense logic of it is not going to tell you, you know, it'll tell you what to buy and where to go and da 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 da, but it can't go, oh, we need to cut this an eighth bigger so that the swimming fits right.
Right.
You know what's bad? They took all those trade things out of schools.
They
You know
watch
that?
this.
They don't have none of that.
You're right.
We went to school.
Because we had ROP, remember?
Yeah.
That's what we did.
We had plastics, woods, all that.
Yeah, you know they don't have that.
Mechanics.
I think that's what's missing part of. And I've said this before, not here, but with friends talking. And I said, you know, that I went to ROP. You know, I learned how to do upholstery in ROP.
Yeah.
And guess what? When I got kicked out of the house, I did auto upholstery in my backyard because I had a Fujitsu sewing machine. I remember the name of it.
I remember that machine.
Yeah,
That green one.
yeah, and I worked on people's cars.
Yeah.
Well, we did the lowrider. I had to do that whole
Yeah.
interior.
Right.
I did Dominic's interior.
Yeah,
And
You know-
it's gold 62.
Yeah.
yeah.
And you put the lifts in the
Yeah.
back.
With the chandelier.
Yeah.
But you know,
Well, that was my 70s.
I think the only school that has the auto mechanic still is Kennedy.
Really?
They still have
Well,
it.
you know they're smarter
That's the
than the rest.
only one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really.
absolutely.
I mean,
Auto mechanic
kids,
class.
you know, because every kid is
It's
not
not
gonna,
made right.
is not going to be a computer whiz. Every kid is not going to be an A in everything. There's so many kids that are good with their hands.
And
You know, everybody learns different.
right.
You know, and that's what it is.
And
It's just-
college ain't for everyone.
No,
It's not. It's not.
Well, it wasn't for me. It doesn't mean that I'm dumb. Doesn't mean it is that.
Right.
Right.
But it just means I'm okay. I'm done learning. Let me go out and do what I
Yeah,
got to
do it.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
And I had a different thing. You know, and everybody's thing is different. It doesn't really matter what you do as long as you do this and it's making money. If you don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
So I don't know. There's a lot.
Well,
of
that's
things.
what I say. You know, if you can go get a trade, you know, like Tony's saying, you know, you don't go to college and you get a trade, it'll take you farther than you think. You know, because there's always entities in it. You know, especially with any kind of building, you have the entities of the math skills. Then you have some computer skills involved, and then you have the logical thinking in there. You know, how to read a blueprint, how to read a PIMD. You know, how to read these blueprints and understand and what they're saying to you. You know, so every trade has its own language.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And once you understand that language, you're able to adapt and grow in it. You know, so but it's a matter of learning the basics of the language or what trade you're trying to do.
Yeah.
You know.
And you know, I just think that, man, that, you know, just because you don't like school or just because you ain't really good at school doesn't mean you're dumb.
Right.
It just means you haven't found what you're good at. And that doesn't mean you go out and commit a crime because I'm dumb and I'm never going to get done. Man, use your hands, use your head.
Yeah.
You can always go out and find something. There's always a way. Man, you know, I remember when we were kids and when
We
we
used
didn't
to
have
pick
jobs.
tomatoes.
Yeah, remember
Oh,
that?
yeah.
Yeah.
I used to ride with him on the back of the motorcycle. We'd go down and pick tomatoes.
Yeah.
For the weekend.
Yeah, whatever it was. And, you know,
We did all
yeah,
that.
because that's what that's what you're supposed to do. I remember
We
mowing
were poor, man. We did
Yeah, I
everything.
remember
We
mowing
did everything.
lawns.
Yeah.
See, y'all pick tomatoes, we pick cotton. We're different.
Yeah, they didn't pick no cotton.
Yeah, I don't think you ever had
Maybe the ones out your ears.
Yeah, keep out of this conversation, no job.
But yeah, we used to go around the neighborhood and mow lawns.
Mow lawns.
Yeah,
Break
yeah,
leaves.
We learned how to hustle,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Hey, we
We
used to dumpster dive, get the bottles and
Yeah.
cans. and take
Okay,
them.
watch this.
All that.
I got a good thing for kids that are out there and you want to make some money. Okay, here's what it is. All you need is a lawnmower, some gas, a weed eater, and maybe a blower, or if not a broom. I mean, we're doing
But nowadays we do the right neighborhood too.
No,
Yeah.
wait, listen, wait, you did yourself. Because watch, hold on, because I pay, I think it's $85 or $90 for my yard care every month.
Right.
Watch, if you's a kid and you came to my house and you said, hey man, I'll mow, blow, and go, however they say that, for this much, if you cut them off by, you say, I can do $40. I bet you at least got a job for a couple weekends. See how you do.
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you do a great job, guess what? You have a new job.
Yeah.
So what?
Right.
You're a kid. You're doing it on the weekends. So you only do 4 or 5 lawns on the weekend
Right.
each day. 40, 80, 160, $200 a week, a day on the weekend. That's $400 a weekend. That's a good way to make money.
Hell
Fool.
yeah.
So why you out doing stupid stuff? You know.
Right.
So,
Absolutely.
So put your extracurricular activity into a mode to make sure you make money. Because if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
You know what?
Right?
You know what they don't have like when we grew up was remember the candy guys that used to have a van.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And they'll
yeah.
Take you to
They
the
take us to the
Yeah.
and the Sacramento Bee.
Yeah, they couldn't do that though in my neighborhood.
We used to do that all the time.
I got
That's
robbed
how-
every time I went out. Someone robbed me.
But that's how we started having our, communication skills,
Right, right.
going door to door,
Yeah.
speaking to people.
Right,
yeah,
So that's what helped me.
Yeah.
They don't have that now. I
They
don't
don't.
see that.
Well, because everybody's online.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's tough.
No, that's
bunch
true.
of bunch
That's
of the
true,
computer. You
They
know,
don't know how to
Oh, I'll
communicate.
beat you up.
Yeah.
You ain't nothing. I'll tell you. Everybody's tough behind a keyboard.
Absolutely.
And here's my thing. I'm not the watch. I'm as tough as I need to be. So I ain't the toughest man in the world. I know I ain't the toughest guy in my block. Hell, I ain't the toughest guy in my household. There's only two of us. Okay, but let me tell you something.
Yeah,
Watch.
Kathy runs it.
But watch. Well, my thing is, I don't quit. Once the fight starts, I'm not saying I'm gonna whoop you, but I'm gonna whoop you.
But put it
I'm
this
not gonna
way,
stop.
and that time and error with us, even we said we weren't gonna whip you or you were gonna whip us. You were in a fight.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's
you,
right.
You
You're
get
gonna
up
be
the
in a
next
fight.
day,
Yeah.
you're gonna say,
You're gonna feel it.
You're gonna feel it because you're
Believe
saying,
Yeah.
you're in a fight. Put it
Yeah.
that way.
And it's just it's a different way of life.
Yeah.
And you know what? Some things should never be changed. Now what? Because since we're just talking, we're gonna be talking crazy with it.
Right.
So watch this. Now, I raised my daughter the way I was raised. You get out of hand, you
Exactly.
get socked.
Yeah.
Maybe not socked, but spanked.
Right.
But good enough. Kick, spank, whatever.
Right.
Kicked in the ass.
Whatever was close.
Whichever. Yeah. Right. Everybody know my daddy didn't play.
Oh no.
If someone once told me that when I was raising my daughter, someone once told me, you should make your kid scared of you. I'm going, oh yes, you should. I was scared of my mom and daddy.
Hell yeah.
My mom was this tall, my daddy's this tall. So they're the same size. So you know what? But I was more scared. I was deathly afraid of my mom and dad.
Absolutely.
I didn't give a shit about a cop.
Right.
Not in that way. Cops are good. I'm a cop guy. You know what I mean. I'm pro police.
Mm.
So I know. Go grunting over there. But watch. I'm not saying. But watch. Just like in life, not everybody's a scholar. Not
There's
everybody.
good people
exactly.
in all
Yeah,
walks.
there's good and bad and everything.
Absolutely. We're getting.
So you treat me well, I treat you well. You treat me bad, I'll punch you first. That's how I am. Yeah, that's how we grew up. That's how we are. And so I just think that if you since I don't know I'll just kill it because watch you get what you reap out of life.
Absolutely.
If you strive to do the right thing and be good and make money and do this, you can and you will survive and you'll eventually achieve it.
That works the other way too, guys.
Yeah. So, but if you don't strive to do anything, guess what? You ain't gonna do anything, and you're gonna do nothing. And if you don't do nothing, what's that say? An empty mind is a lot of trouble, or how's that go?
A lost soul.
No, an empty mind is a devil's playground. And that's pretty much what it is for real.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I remember when I had time in my house in the neighborhood, I would always find time to find trouble.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
We all did.
Yeah, we all look for it.
Yeah.
Because you ain't got nothing to do. What are we gonna do today? Well, let's go. I'll go to so-and-so's house. I'll go to so-and-so's house. Yeah, you're gonna go to so-and-so's house, get in trouble. Well, of course, it's something to do.
Right.
Or like in our
Tatiana.
neighborhood too, we would like have
Kevin
neighborhood football
Kevin
games,
Rooney.
and,
That's how we
basketball games or whatever. We would do
Yeah.
things.
Or we go to the park and play football
Yeah,
and
football.
smear the queer.
Yeah.
Our thing is going to a creek.
Oh, you can't
Yeah.
say that nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That,
You
Oh,
can't
yeah,
say
you
that.
can't do that, though.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Hey, keep it real.
Yeah, that was the
That's
game we
what it was
played.
called.
We tossed the football in the air and never caught it.
Yeah,
Got tackled.
we're definitely not politically correct.
Yeah.
We just call it life we see.
Yeah.
But because even me, like I'm a shit talker.
Right.
I really am, but I'm good at it.
I know.
If you got two good friends that are arguing, I bet you I get two dudes get started from fighting. Hey,
Tony's a promoter.
Yeah.
I'm going to go my next bout.
Yeah.
but I mean, that's just how it was back then.
Right,
So
exactly.
It has changed.
Well, you know, basically with me hanging around you, you taught me to fight. You said, hey, you're either gonna fight or you're gonna get your butt whooped. And I learned how to fight.
That's that all started with Lee Montoya.
Yeah.
It really did.
Yeah.
That fight with Lee Montoya.
I think you instigated it.
Nah, really, I don't remember.
Yeah, okay.
I don't remember that part either.
I'm taking the fifth.
Yeah, right. No, I
But
probably
yeah,
did.
but no, you and you taught me to fight. You taught me to stand up
It
for
was-
myself. I mean, it was tough love because we had some bullies in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know, Barry
Absolutely.
Woods.
Yeah.
And I had to fight Barry Woods. I don't know if anybody knows who Barry Woods is, but yeah.
You know who.
He's getting out very
He's
soon.
getting out.
Mhm.
And I remember.
Oh yeah, he said he was looking for you.
Yeah.
He's yeah, he ain't. He's
Yeah, but yeah, watching you guys
Yeah.
got us fighting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got to training. I used to
Yeah.
watch you train.
I don't think
Everything.
nobody from our neighborhood don't know how to fight.
Yeah, we all
Everyone in
learned
our
how to
neighborhood
fight.
knows how to fight.
Because that's what we
Big
did back
time.
then.
Yeah.
That was like a pastime.
Yeah.
You know? It was no, seriously, it was like a pastime
Yeah,
for us.
yeah.
You know, we-
I remember I was gonna get into a fight one time, and I was scared. And Troy was like, "If you don't hit him first, I'm gonna kick your ass when we get home." So I had to. It was like, you know, you
How'd you
couldn't-
do?
I probably got my ass whipped, but
Yeah,
I was
I
more
don't-
scared than him.
I don't remember, but I remember telling them that.
Yeah.
You don't fight him, you're gonna fight
Yeah.
me.
So I fought, you know,
Yeah.
and then after that, I wasn't scared no more.
Right.
How old were you?
I was probably like 12 or 13.
Were you crying after the fight, or you?
No, I wasn't.
No,
Then you must have won.
Yeah.
Remember back then it was okay to cry when you
It
got
was
your
all
ass
right.
kicked.
Yeah, it was all right.
But
Well,
yeah.
at least back then, though, I mean, you know, to be honest with you, there was very little fights that were even hanging with Tony, you know, and we'd go out and we'd get in some fights, some battles, and, you know, but it wasn't as crazy as it is where guns were involved. I mean, every
Right.
once in a while you seen a bat or something come out, but other than that, you know, we weren't trying to kill each other at that time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a fight,
Yeah.
it was over with, and then 5 weeks later we were at the bar together, you know?
Yeah.
So it wasn't, or we're out somewhere and everything was cool, you know, but it's a different world today.
Yeah.
With that.
I think when I was growing up, it was guns were just starting to play the factor.
Yeah, they were just starting to come in.
Yeah.
Because I remember being at Diana Lower's party and we got shot at
Yeah.
at that party
Yeah.
on 25th Street.
Who started it?
There was it was somebody. It was Freddie Leyba was there and he had there was something going down with Freddie Leyba.
Oh, is that time when they
Yeah.
came out and shooting?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
And there was something going down there, so they knew he was at this party. And then me and Tony,
okay.
when we hid behind a car, me and
Yeah.
you did.
Dive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but yeah, you know, and how we were like,
We're probably mid late teens,
yeah.
18, 19.
No, I was already out 18, 19. I was out 17, so
Yeah,
it had to be
so-
like 15.
So the crypto innovator said, Tony, you got it wrong. An idle mind is the devil's playground.
that's what he.
That's what I said.
No.
I ended up saying the devil's playground, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
But not an idle mind.
Okay,
That's
well, I was
correct.
close. Well,
Thank you, crypto innovator. We appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you, brother. I'm in.
If you enjoy the show,
That's what I
donate $1 to Tony's Coach Cash.
Hey, what did
$1.
I talk about memory?
How much money did I have?
Zero. You know, but I mean, you know, yeah. So that it's an idle mind is the devil's playground.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah, thank you, man. You're right. That's
You're right, guy. Oh wait, are you a female?
What?
Maybe.
The crypto
Yeah,
investigator.
he's on another story.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I mean, you know, but look at us now.
Yeah.
We're all doing okay.
Yeah.
You know, we're
upright and breathing and healthy for the most part. So
So what I got a question for all you guys.
Okay.
What do you think is the difference, the biggest difference? Like one thing that comes to your mind from when we were growing up in the 70s and 80s to the kids growing up in the 2000s. What do you think, Nick? Nick, what do you think is the biggest difference?
no one saying
The
nothing. to
biggest,
this.
well, there's a couple.
Give me
One
one
thing,
thing.
one
What's
thing.
the biggest difference between us growing up in the gardens in 1979 to kids growing up wherever in 2023?
I would say communication, man. They don't know how
That's
to like Tony was saying earlier, you could be really bad through your phone or whatever, but when it comes to speak man to man to each other, it's a whole different. And I experienced that with my sons because they would text me something, and I'm like, wait, is he really saying this shit? You know, like.
Right now.
But then when I would call him and talk to him, he didn't mean it the way he texted me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So-
That
happens
gets
a lot.
screwed.
That happens a lot.
And now that he brought that to my attention, I try not to text as much because people, you know, they
read it.
Yeah, like,
everybody reads it different.
right.
Okay, my turn.
Yeah.
I can tell you what it is.
So wait, I want to save you for last. Alex, what do you think the biggest difference is from growing up on 25th Street in the Gardens from 1979 to however, from kids growing up right now in 2023? What's the one thing that comes to your mind?
One thing is self-hate. I say a lot of people fighting themselves. You know, I see a lot of that. But back then, we had a lot of confidence in ourselves. You know, and now people give up so quick.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
They give up so fast, man. They
Yeah.
don't have no type of, I don't want to say balls, but
Yeah.
you know, the manhood in them is
No,
not
the
there.
endurance of
You know?
that. I think you're, yeah.
Self-hate,
Yeah,
man. You know, I don't know what it is, man, but it's just a lot of that going on.
Yeah.
You know, they just don't know how to, I guess, correct themselves, or they don't have the father figure. I guess, I don't know. It's something like that I see through these kids today, that they just
Absolutely.
hate
Yeah.
the next man for no reason.
Yeah,
You know, things
right,
like that.
right,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? You're fighting them for no reason at
Yeah.
all. You know, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Troy?
Troy, what do you think?
I think that, well, I have two things. I think kids are coddled way too much.
The what?
Coddled
Yeah.
way too
That's
much
true,
these
too.
days. And I also think it's technology has been a big issue because they're involved with technology. They're missing out on an open door. You know, just going outside and doing, you know, things that we did when we grew up because we didn't have that technology.
We didn't have-
Going to haunted
Yeah,
hills.
Right.
And riding
So,
on-
Yeah.
but
you know.
so I think technology has played a big role in the dissipation of the way kids are today.
Tone.
I can tell you that something that we'll all agree on. When they stop saying you can't spank your child, the world's starting to change. Because children now have no respect. And you know, I'm standing in a store and I'm in line right next to the cashier, you know, walking up to the cashier, and you know how the hell the candy that comes.
Right.
And grown younger, I'm 60, so you know, they're probably in their 30s and 40s, will just do this. Well, back where we come from,
Right.
you don't do
you
that.
don't do that.
You know, you
Right.
don't. And I'm trying to get and I'm trying to get used to it.
Right.
I really am, because I'll be like, excuse you, like,
Right.
you know. But see, that's what's missing. And you know, the ass kickings that we're talking about, you know, there's consequences, repercussions for everything you do. Everything you do has a consequence or some kind of repercussion to it. But you know,
It might not happen right then and there, but it's coming.
yeah, but it's kind of,
Right.
you know, like today's kids, you know, I think you know, ass kickings. I'm not saying every kid needs an ass kicking. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there are a lot of kids that do need it, and there are some kids that need ass kickings. There are some kids need to get beat down. And I'm telling you what, I was one of them kids. Let me tell you about my dad. Watch, I was scared of my dad. And when we talked about earlier, someone said you ain't supposed to be scared of your parents. Oh yes, you are. You know, it's called respect. You know, you call it what you want. You call it scared, call it respect, call it whatever you want. But watch this. I was more scared of my mom, and my mom was this tall, my dad's this tall. I was scared of them more than I was scared of a cop.
Right.
I could care less about a cop.
Right.
I'd fight a cop in a heartbeat at 15, 14 years old. I'm thinking, I'll fight a cop. I don't care.
Right.
But you know, but I'll tell your mom, oh man, please, okay, I want, don't tell my mom and dad.
Yeah.
You know, but that's what's missing is ass kickers, because you know, even my mom one time, I'm gonna bring my mom on the show.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a show with my mom one time because my mom is she's still crazy.
We need her.
Anyways, one day I don't know what I did, and it was before I even moved over to Meadowview.
Right.
I was in the backyard and I had a big old serape on, you know, one of them heavy, thick serapes.
Right.
And I don't remember what I did wrong. I was in the backyard. I know I did something I wasn't supposed to do, obviously. But my mama had a belt and she was whack, whack. And she held me by my hand. I was running around. No, for real. She was whacking me so hard. Well, I never felt it because I wouldn't cry, and she was going.
That was him.
Basically, she was yelling, but she said it in Spanish.
Right.
But she would cry, cry.
Yeah.
But I never felt it because I was running like this.
Right.
The serape was back
Was you
here.
laughing
So
at
the
her?
belt was hitting the serape, not me.
No.
And so I never felt it. So finally, I swear to God, she thinks I'm kidding. Because I remind her of this every once in a while.
Right.
And she thinks I'm kidding, but she had a little sweat coming down. so and I remember seeing it, and I'm thinking, oh, maybe she, because I'm thinking she's a kid.
Right.
She was younger then, but
Right.
but I'm thinking, I hope she doesn't get hurt. Maybe she'll have a heart attack.
Yeah.
So I fake cried. I started crying, fake crying. I really did.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to hurt nothing to happen to her.
Right.
But because that's what I did. But that's what's missing is just because, like my daughter got a couple butt whoopings in her whole life.
Right.
But and it's because
Well, there's a
she
point.
did a couple of stupid things in her life.
Right.
But I tell you what, I love my kids. She knows I love her to death, and she knows that.
Right.
But she also knows that I'll jump on a plane, jump down and beat the crap out of somebody, come back, and by the time you get to the hospital, I'll be home.
Right.
And I don't play. And it says, someone says, how can you talk to your kid? Because my kid respects me.
That's right.
My daughter knows that she can be there and I'm here, but if she calls daddy's on the next fight.
Well, I'm a lot closer, so you don't have to call daddy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I'm only about 30 minutes from her. So.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
I'll call you on the way up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's just how it is for me.
Right.
But I learned that from my parents.
Right.
I
Absolutely.
remember my dad telling me, my dad raised, I noticed? My dad raised me different from my brothers, and obviously different from my sisters, but we were different. My brother Sal he went to be.
He was a golden child.
He didn't never have to
He
do
was a
that.
scholar.
Yeah.
He knew.
So,
He was the first male born, but in school he kept getting beat up. So my dad says, because my dad used to box in Mexico, came over here with a box over here, met my wife, quit, and started a family. Well, he took his son to the Capital Boxing Gym that was on Stockton Boulevard, which I think the city of Sacramento should have preserved, but they didn't, dummies. Anyways, took him to that gym, taught him how to fight. He finally learned how to fight.
That's right.
Shit, my brother became number 3 in the world at one time.
Yeah.
He was number 3 in the world at one time. That's crazy. As a pro, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And I just think, your parents know. I don't know. For me, my dad brought us up with a no bullshit kind of.
Right.
I
did some of that.
You come home at 1 o'clock,
Me too.
or I'll beat your ass. For real. Now,
Yeah.
and guess what? If the party was on and cracking, I'm getting my ass kicked tomorrow. I ain't moving. I'm like, hey. How many times do we sell it? How many times
Right.
I look forward? I don't mean to
Tony get it.
forward to get my ass kicked all
Hey,
the time.
listen. It was Tony get in the house, Troy go home.
Yeah. I like, hey, you know the deal. I'm ready. I'm prepared.
All right, Otto.
It was a good night. We had fun last night, go home.
Yeah, I remember.
But that's how it is,
Just your dad's presence to me, being over at your house, like I just knew, he was really cool. I respected him. He always had that toothpick, the hat down like this, and you just knew, don't fucking act.
Well, I
like
worked
it.
with.
I remember.
I worked with him for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
So the biggest
Dad always loved
difference,
me.
I think the biggest difference from the 70s till now with kids is one thing:
What's that?
cell phones. Technology, like he said, listen, when we grew up, we had a house phone, we had to look shit up in the phone book.
We had everybody's numbers.
couldn't
remember
text
that?
nobody.
Remember that?
Yeah.
You can remember 50 numbers.
Hey, we couldn't
Now I
text
can't even
nobody,
remember
right?
a password.
And like he said earlier with his sons, right? So I have a problem with it because I get into it so much over text messages because being that I was kind of raised for the state kind of raised me. You learn that the tone of your voice is either danger or is soft where you can accept somebody. And in Texas, you can't read that. I don't know your tone of your voice when you're telling me anything through a text.
Right.
But when I talk to you, I can read your tone of your voice.
Right.
And that's the
Yeah.
biggest difference from
Well, that's
now
all-
back then.
Right.
I
Yeah,
read
that's
people's
not
tone of their
communication.
voice.
And that's all communication too,
Yes, that's
like Nick was saying too,
communication.
you know?
You can't read the tone of someone's voice through a text message. So everyone, I don't text. Okay, well, I won't talk to you because I don't ever text you, very seldom. I don't ever text you, very seldom.
I always call.
And he likes texting because he's at work a lot, right? But I need to hear the tone because then I know
Well,
where
there's
your
certain
mind is.
situations where I have to text, like, you know,
Right,
because
yeah.
my boss is
Right.
around or whatever.
Right.
But a couple months ago, man, I seen a group of kids by Delta Shores. They were on their BMX bikes.
Right.
They had fishing poles
Yeah.
and shit. Man, I flipped a U-turn and they probably thought I was a weirdo.
Right.
I pulled up on them and they
Well,
stopped. They were looking all
Yeah.
crazy and shit. And I was like, you know, I just want to tell you guys something. And they're like, what? I was like, you don't know how refreshing this is
To
to
see that.
Right,
And they're
exactly.
like, what?
man.
I said, you guys ain't home playing video games. You're out on a Saturday,
Yeah.
getting ready to go fishing.
Yeah.
Something like, you know. and they-
Outdoors.
Yeah. And they were like,
That's how we used to
thank-
do it.
Well,
Right.
All the
like,
time.
yeah,
That was our goal.
We get up every morning before school, run 5 miles,
Yeah.
go home, go to school, go to the gym, and run another 5 miles after that.
Yeah.
We run 10 miles a day with the school.
And I was like, man, that really made me happy to see that, you know.
Yeah.
Because most kids are at home playing video
Yeah, you don't.
games.
Yeah,
But you know, it's a
Yeah.
different world too. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
you can't. Some of these places you can't even let your kids out. You know,
And that's a damn shame.
it is a shame.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They don't get
Because
they don't get the
shit,
whole
we used to in our neighborhood. I mean, I'd go from riding my bike all the way to Parkway.
Yeah,
you
we
know,
used to go journey.
yeah, exactly. Our executive airport,
Yeah,
little airport,
yeah,
by
we
Greenwood.
roll.
I'd ride way over there. You know, nobody worried about me the whole
Right.
day. You know,
We didn't have phones.
Right.
Nothing, just gone.
We were gone, man.
And it was
Stop.
great. You know what? It was crazy back then too, but it
Yeah.
just wasn't as crazy as
Right,
it is.
right.
And that being, there's more people, and so there's more crazy
well,
shit going
and
on.
also there's more technology because
Yeah.
they make you aware of it faster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Before we didn't have that. Oh, Johnny's gone. Oh,
Yeah,
you know,
and people used to get
you know,
snatched.
yeah, exactly, right,
They'd be
yeah.
gone. You know, you
Yeah.
couldn't find them.
You know, I got another question. Okay, I'm always asking questions like this, I guess. But watch this. Why is Sacramento, why is Sacramento a hot spot for child trafficking?
I know why.
I know why.
Because we're between two major freeways.
That's right.
Absolutely.
And
That's what I was gonna say.
they both leave one Highway 80 east all the way to New York.
Right, exactly.
All till Highway 80 till it
And,
ends.
and I-5.
Actually, wait, more. Yeah, 80 and then 5.
80 and
99 takes you all the way. 99 up to 5 will take you out of the country to Mexico.
right. But
South.
Highway 80 ends at George Washington Bridge in New York.
Oh,
Really?
New York, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Just before you hit New York,
Really?
it goes all the way across
That-
from bridge to bridge.
So, believe it or not, you can be out of the state in about just a couple hours.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's
In any direction after that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know?
How come we don't hear about it in the media so much about Sacramento being a hotspot for child?
Well, just like I know from being a bounty hunter, we're going up north a little bit, and up north and south by the bay, there's a couple of communities out there. I call it communities, neighborhoods, or cities, or towns, or whatever you want to call it. But the city gets paid to harvest child molesters. So in some areas, you'll find a lot of child molesters.
Wait, say that again?
The city's paid?
The cities get paid to house child molesters.
Right. Because
Crazy.
they
I don't know
have
if they do
nowhere to
today,
go. So now
but when I was down here, and it wasn't too long ago, we were chasing. Because watch, man, I've been in my job as a bail bondsman. I'm neither judge nor jury. And only God can judge you. So
right.
whether you're charged with this and that, some girl, and this can happen to anybody. Some little boy can say to a lady, "That lady touched me,"
Right.
and she didn't.
Right.
Or she touched him like this. And
Right.
He can say anything he wants.
Right.
And so, you got to believe pretty much only half of what you see and nothing of what you hear.
Right.
Because watch, people say, well, what do you mean by half of what you see? Okay, I can explain this to you. You're walking in front of me at the other end of the block, of the
Right.
city block. but you're walking 10 feet behind this lady, but you guys are walking like this, but you're this far apart. From where I'm at,
It looks
like you're walking with her.
right.
So then all of a sudden you start walking faster just because, and that's my woman. And so I go, why were you walking with him? Why were you walk with who? She has no idea. Because he was 10 feet behind her.
Right.
But it looks
In the perspective.
Plus, I was probably trying to get at her anyway.
He's doing fine.
Yeah.
I know. I get. So on the real, I mean, in today's world, because and watch, everything's common sense, and I'm not saying I have any proof of this.
Right.
It's just that watch the news. It's on the news.
Yeah.
Pay attention. If they can find, if they can see a guy robbing a store, they see him. The camera catches him walking in. They catch him robbing the store. They catch him running out.
Yep.
Guess what else catches them? The camera's all outside.
Absolutely.
Watch. And I don't. And what? And I'm just saying. How come no one's ever picked up on this? That it's almost. Did you? You don't. Because watch this. When they see a bank robbery, they see the guy running out of the store, running out of the bank. You see him taking off. They see him turning down the store. You see him turning down.
Yep.
They show you 4 or 5 different corners that he's turned down.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's cameras everywhere.
Now.
Yep.
So watch this. So why don't they catch everybody? Why don't they know where everybody's at? They do.
They do.
I'm not saying they know precisely where you're at, but they know who you are. They know what car you're driving. They know what the license plate number of that car.
Yep.
They have license plate readers.
They have everything.
They know right away.
So watch this.
If you get away with a crime now, it's because they want you to get away with it.
That okay. Whoever said that, that's the way I feel.
Yeah.
I really do. I feel that they're letting you get away with it. Why? All these people that smash and grab and going. Watch. If I had a store, you smash and grab, I'd smash that ass and grab you by your neck and choke you out. I really would.
Yeah.
I ain't let nobody take nothing from me. Yeah. All this crazy. From our time to now, this world's crazy.
Absolutely.
And you know what? So am I. So you know what?
Well,
make me get that way, and I like to flip the switch. You know
Right. But what's so crazy too is that when we grew up, we were able to get a job and support ourselves and have an apartment and have this and this with what was out there. But nowadays, because everything's so inflated, if you're not making $25 an hour, you ain't living in this country.
Right.
Okay,
You gotta do something.
Watch this. Like the homeless.
Right.
Now there are some homeless I feel sorry for.
Unhoused.
Okay, unhoused, whatever.
Right.
Call it what you want. Like that. Like I said, we ain't politically correct here. We just.
I learned that word yesterday. Someone told me don't use homelessness, use unhoused. I'm like, what's the difference? And he explained it.
Okay. Either way.
All right. Unhoused.
So watch this. Now you get some of that. Now I forgot what my train of thought was. What was you talking about? I lost my train of thought.
About people that decide to. You're saying that some people choose that.
No. I don't. I know. I didn't. Watch this. Just because you're unhoused, homeless, whatever, doesn't. What? There's some homeless people. I'll give money.
Right.
There's homeless people. I'm gonna buy a bill for.
Right.
There's homeless people. I'm gonna say, "Get the fuck out of my face, dude. Get out of here."
Yeah.
You know what? Because there are some that really need it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, okay, watch. And everybody, watch. I was kicked out at 17. Okay, I made a life. I made a life. So you can't tell me shit.
Right.
So if you're 17, you're kicked out of your house, now you're homeless, begging for food. Man, no, go out and get a damn job.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, I ain't got a place to take us. We'll find a river. You know what? Borrow, ask for a soap. Don't quit asking for money. Ask for a soap. Ask for a job. Ask for something.
Right.
Because watch.
Opportunities there.
One time there was a man. I was coming home and I was going to my house, and there's this guy on the store. We'll work for food. I'm thinking, all right. I rolled down my window. Hey, dude, I got a lot of weeds around the front of my house. I need to be picked. You want a job? Yeah, man, I want a job. Come on. I took him to my house, and it was dirty that was. I took him home at lunchtime. Took him to my house, and I told him all around the guy. I go, I said, I'll give you $100 a day, pick up all the weeds out here. I go, and I'm gonna buy you. I'm gonna go outside and make you lunch, so you have a lunch. Get you a soda. I made a full meal deal. I really did. I gave him a couple sodas, and I said, hey man, I'm gonna come back at 5 o'clock. If I come back at 5 o'clock and this is done right, I said, if you don't do it right, I go, I'm not paying you. I'm telling you, I'm paying you to do a job, but do a good job.
Right.
He goes, I'll do a good job. So I left him the food. I took off. I came back. Dude, he did a great job.
Oh, nice.
Gave him $100. Said, hey man, I said, anytime you need a job, you come to this house.
Right.
I said, I'll make up a job for you.
Right.
But he never came back. But see, now there's more people will say, instead of saying give me, how about saying let me work for you?
Right.
Let me
Let me
do
earn
something.
it.
Yeah.
Right.
Take it from a give me money to let me earn money from you.
Right.
Let me carry your groceries to the car. Yeah. For $1, I'll carry your groceries to your car and then unpack them for you.
Right.
I'll put them in your car. Who wouldn't do that?
Yeah.
If you're asking
Nice,
if you're asking for a job, there are a lot of people that will give you a job,
Absolutely.
even if it's for a freaking $1 to just take your groceries to the car. Okay, it's worth it to me.
Right.
Even if a lady says no, but she's at your home, says, you know what? Yeah, he's asking to work. I'll do that for him.
Right. Exactly.
And
there's a difference in the moral there.
yeah,
No, right.
I tell my wife and I, we talk all the time. I tell my wife, I go, you know what? I would never be homeless. Because even as a homeless person, if I was homeless, it wouldn't be for very long.
So you know what's really crazy? Living out in New York, right? And you would hear these horror stories about these people jumping off the bridge. Well, a lot of them are rich people. They lose all their money and then they go jump off the bridge. So, I always found that you can give a poor man $1 million and he'll lose his $1 million and he'll go back to living the way he was, like nothing's ever changed.
Yeah.
But you take that from a rich guy who's never seen that kind of life, doesn't know how to live.
My son just told me that shit yesterday. Exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
And it's true. It's a different breed of life. And it's sad because you can't make it if you put the effort into it. Life can be challenging and hard, but as long as you're putting some value back into yourself and learning the trade and doing these things, you can succeed.
Yeah.
And it shows right here at this table between all of us.
Okay, look, we've been on 1 hour and 20 minutes. I got one question for Alex. So, you said you went to prison. How old were you when you went to prison?
I was 21.
21. You said you did 14 years in the feds for drugs and guns.
Yeah.
I talked to you in the feds, I sent you some magazines. It seemed like you was gone longer than that, but you was gone 14 years. But when you was in jail and you came home, what was the biggest difference from the time you left until the time you came home?
Technology.
So, okay, wait, let me ask you something because I knew you was going to say that answer. So in the feds, you didn't have access to technology like in the state?
No. Feds is more secure. You're not going to be bringing things in very, very easily. So, and they had me wait in South Carolina.
So wait, that's my next question. So when I was talking to you,
Weren't you at the ADX?
wait, that's what my question was. When I was talking to you, you was in Florence, Colorado
Yes.
at the ADX with like John Gotti, Ted Kaczynski. So there's two parts of the ADX. I know that.
Yeah,
and you're going to hit on.
I wasn't at the ADX, but I was at the disciplinary USP. The ADX is separate. That's underground.
I know. So that's what I was going to ask.
USP Florence is the disciplinary for all the USPs. They put all the bad apples there. You know what I'm saying? That's where I was at.
So where did you start at and why did you end up? Because I know about Florence, Colorado, very well. I got a friend, associate that was next door to Ted Kaczynski, and he has pictures of the ADX cell.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Garrett Linderman. He killed someone in Lompoc. There was an Aryan Brotherhood, and he's also white, so they put him there for his own safety.
Yeah.
So why did you end up in the ADX?
Fighter.
You was always fighting.
Oh man, they had me. I was always in the shoot. If somebody say something to me, I was knocking them out.
Yeah.
So I was always violent You know what I'm saying? I was cool, but if you mess with me,
Right.
you know, I was bringing it to you. So that's how it was, you know. And when I got to Florence, that's when they sent me because I was already in the shoe in the county jail, so they sent me straight to there, and I went from there. And that yard was crazy, you know.
So is it true that when you're there, it's no human contact?
No, not remember. I wasn't at the ADX. I was at the USP Florence. So USP Florence is like a equivalent to a level 4 yard. You know what I'm saying? But it's different. Level 4 yards got like catwalks and stuff like that. And in USP Florence, they don't have that. It's just a unit with like almost 200 people up in there, and they have like you call 10-minute moves. They say 10-minute move, so you got 10 minutes to go where you got to go, and then the doors close.
You gotta be where you're supposed to be, right?
Yes, and then you're stuck on yard.
Right.
And then in the USPs, after count, like in the morning, the doors stay open. In the state, they clock your doors. In the feds, your doors are open all day. So if you're in the bed, somebody can run up in there and get you.
So I'm asking,
a little different, you know what I'm saying?
I'm asking these questions to you specifically because we have a episode coming up about the ADX on my channel, Prison Yard TV. But where you was at is the most secure prison in the United States of America. There's nothing else more secure than Florence, Colorado. Not Alcatraz back in the days, not Pelican Bay. The ADX is
that's the
where they send the worst of the worst of the worst.
Yes, that's
Well,
where
Chapel is
I was there when they flew in Ted Kaczynski. They
Mhm.
flew him in, the Unabomber and all that stuff. And what was the other guy, Timothy Bay?
Yeah.
I was there. I was there 96, 97, 98. So I was in the USP. You can see him when they brought him in. They flew him in. A whole bunch of U.S. Marshals. You know, they rushed him all up in there. You know what I'm saying? We could see him physically, but you know.
And for clarity, I know the answer to this, but how normal prisons is built like on flat land. How is Florence, Colorado ADX built?
That's kind of hard to see. All you see is a building.
It's in the mountain, ain't it? Underground in the mountain?
Yeah, we're on the mountain. We're Pueblo, Colorado. So it's on the mountain. Yep. You know, that's what we called it. You know what I'm saying? You go into the mountain, you know, because all you can see is the sky. You know what I'm saying? You can't see nothing else. And there's the Air Force base. So you can see the Air Force, the planes flying in the distance, you know, going to the Air Force base over there in Colorado Springs. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't want
to rush this show because we've been on a long time, an hour and 30 minutes. But so going from the most secure federal prison in the United States, I knew I wanted you. I've been trying to get you on here on Tony's show and on my show for over a year. And you're a hard man to get a hold of because you're working. But you're also always at the state capitol. What do you do up there?
Oh, man. Pretty much fighting for working people. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
That's part of the union part, you know, so I'm always out there, you know, fighting for, you know, workers' rights. You know, so everybody deserves a decent wage. And I've been involved in that ever since I got out of prison. You know what I'm saying?
So are you for unions or against you?
I'm a union worker.
Are you? Okay.
Yes.
You don't see him on the news, though. I see him on the news, though. I see him.
I don't know why.
That's what the union had when I went to the state, because I did 12 years federal, and I went to the state for 2.5 years, and I went to Folsom State Prison, and they went to the camp, and they had a PIA program, and that's where I graduated from. Brought my mom there.
Right.
My mom never, you know, I brought my mom there. We was on Fox News, you know, and I graduated that pre-apprenticeship, and that's when we were just talking about that hands-on type of things right there. They have that, and that's what the union provides. It's the hands-on training, and you get paid as you go. And that's what apprenticeship program is all about. That's what when you see me at the Capitol or anything like that, rallies. That's what we're fighting for. You know, so for everybody to
Right.
You know, they usually on certain jobs, you know, they paying people cash and things like that for.
Yeah, it's just
That's not good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Everybody deserves health care. You know,
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody deserves that. If you're working,
companies make way too much to dial it down and the greed of the dollar. You know,
exactly. So
over their employees.
So that's what I do in the Capitol. If you see anything like that, we're fighting for working people.
Like, comment, subscribe. That's cool.
Okay. So hey, I know we've been going on for a long time, man. It's just fun, a little chit chat and guys talking shit. But you know, we gotta cut this. We gotta cut the show off at some time. So hey, look, check us out. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. If you really appreciate it if you could subscribe and help us out. If you like this channel, please subscribe. Oh yeah, if you can, I'll tell you what. What's that? Yeah, just like, subscribe, and comment.
And if you like this show, he don't want to say. If you enjoy Tony's show, cash app him $1. $1. I want to see how many people cash app him $1. I did that on my show, and you wouldn't believe how many. Everybody cash app him $1 if you enjoy. It's nothing out of your pocket. It's $1. $1's nothing no more. Cash app him $1, and we're taking count. Next weekend, you got a special guest, a former boxer. Let them know who it is.
Oh yeah. No, wait. Oh, should I tell him now?
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna bring Loretto Garza. He's a former WBE junior welterweight champion. He's from Sacramento. He was. There was 2 champions in Sacramento one time. Then there was 3. And we're trying to get that 3rd one out here too. Because we're all still around town, but we're gonna have a good time with Loretto. Loretto was a correction officer for many years. He's retired now. And then, so now he does just lay around and do nothing. I gotta get him while he can still walk around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also, stay tuned for Brian Mitchell. I'm in contact with him. He's in South Africa. We're just trying to work out the details because they're like 9 hours ahead of us. So we're gonna have him on. Tony took the belt from him, and he's willing.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
Not for Brian.
Oh no,
my
my bad.
bad.
I want to say one thing. Julio Cesar Chavez, we're still looking for that call, man.
Yeah, wait.
We're waiting for it. That's his only regret in life. Don't let him leave this earth without that regret fulfilled.
Yeah.
I misspoke then.
What?
You didn't take the belt from Brian Mitchell.
No, he took it from
You went to South Africa and took someone's belt.
Yeah,
No, I did not.
that was here.
They took it from me.
Brian-
I lost. I fought Dino Tabello.
No,
You
No,
got
I just
the
watched
belt
the
from
fight.
Logan.
No, the white dude, man. You came back. WBA belt. Who'd you take that from?
Brian Mitchell. I didn't take it from nobody. Oh no, that was
WBO.
No, WBA belt from Joey Gamache.
Joey Gamache.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, he was in Connecticut or something like that, right? Back
Portland,
east.
Maine.
Yeah, Portland, Maine. Yeah.
We're talking about South Africa fool.
Yeah, I know.
I thought I was
I
bad.
messed up.
I thought my memory was bad.
I corrected. Jesus, Brian Mitchell, stay tuned. We're working out the details. That's going to be a good one.
Hey Brian, now you know what kind of stuff I gotta deal with, okay, brother? We good. We'll get it.
Yeah, we'll get it.
Peace.
Peace, love, and happiness. See you later.
Tell the people you love them before you go to bed. You don't know if we're going to wake up in the morning.